there, sports gamers. Welcome on back into the channel. I'm Brandon Satterwhite. This week, San Diego Studios revealed all of the new presentation changes coming to MLB The Show 26. This includes a couple of new tournaments that are going to be fully licensed within the game, new commentators that are going to be present in the game, as well as a couple of legends that are going to be added in Diamond Dynasty and storylines. And one thing in franchise mode that might seem a bit small, but I am really excited to get my hands on it. We're going to talk about all of that. Before we get into the video, if you enjoy these news videos, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel. Go check out our dedicated baseball channel, SGO Dugout. I just dropped a couple more franchise rebuilds over there, so if you like that sort of stuff, go check that out. And if you enjoy the work we do here at Sports Gamers Online and you want to support us even more, consider hitting that join button in order to get access to some exclusive content. With all that out of the way, let's get into it.
Sports Gamers Online is the #1 source for the sports gamer.
All right, so we got the presentation, trailer, and feature premiere today, and I'm going to jump straight to what I thought was the most interesting thing out of all of these, and that is this new edition coming to franchise. So last year, if you saw my review of MLB The Show 25, you know that I was a big fan of the game storylines, league news, and farm report menus that were added in that you see when you're loading into a game. And they said that they've, expanded, the storylines, so there's new ones, and there'll be more commentary, more, voice lines that'll be said when you click on one of these. But while they were doing this, I looked down here in the bottom left, and you probably can't see it because of YouTube, but it says here, press square for view game plan, and I just started thinking to myself, what does view game plan mean? What does that mean? Well, they showed us. If you hit that, then you can view the batters and pitchers for both your team and your opponent, and you get to get a little scouting report on them and see how they've been doing in their recent games. So here, the scouting report for Ellie De La Cruz. Elite threat, pitch carefully throughout, versus right-handed pitcher, mixed locations, challenge the zone, and limit balls in plays. He has a 22.2 strikeout rate, 2.4% home run rate, 342 average, has a medium sample size, and then they give you the same stuff with left-handed pitchers. Here it says pitch to contact, carefully limit balls in play, and then it says above average with runners in scoring position, 250 average with a medium sample size. I think that's so cool that you get this, really cool scouting report now on both your team and your opponent, and you get the analytics, and it tells you how to approach them. I think that's so cool. And then also with the pitchers, it shows you all of your pitchers that are available in this game. So you have your starter, and then you have your entire bullpen here. And it says here, Jeremiah Estrada rested and available to throw today, which is really cool. He tells you how he's done in his last couple of appearances and how he does against lefties and righties, struggles with runners in scoring position. Meanwhile, here with the Cincinnati one, it says here for Brock Burke, you see his energy is depleted. It says has pitched 3 consecutive days, unlikely to be used. I just think this is so cool. I think this scouting report, it's just an added immersion, I think, that I really do enjoy it. And I say this every year, that SDS always every year adds something into franchise mode that they don't really hype up as much as I feel they should. I feel like, they add it in and they kind of just mention it in passing, kind of like they did during the feature premiere today when they were talking about this, because we hadn't seen this at all before the feature premiere today. And they just kind of glanced over this, talked about it for a couple minutes and then moved on. I was like, wait, this is amazing. This is awesome. I love this so much. I cannot wait to dig into this more and actually see how these scouting reports develop over the course of a season. I just thought this was really cool, and I wanted to talk about it first thing. This is a really cool addition to franchise mode in my opinion. But going back and talking about some of the other presentation and commentary updates, so the commentators, we do have John Boog Shambi and Chris Singleton back in the booth this year. We do have 2 new commentators though. So MLB Network's Robert Flores, who has been around the MLB The Show community for years. He's an avid MLB The Show player. He streams it on Twitch. He will be doing commentary within Diamond Dynasty, so that will be this unique commentary where it's not really acting like Diamond Dynasty is an MLB game like it is in franchise. He's going to be commentating it more sort of as if it were an esport, where he's going to be talking about metas and the strategy of games like BR or mini seasons or Diamond Quest and stuff like that. And I think that's kind of really cool. You never see commentary in a sports game. They're always trying to make it reflect what's on television. television, like it's an actual game, a broadcast, which is really cool for modes, you know, like a franchise or like an NBA, 2K, like my NBA and all that. But when you go online and you're playing, you know, BR, and you have Babe Ruth and Aaron Judge and Mike Trout, and you're spamming sliders away, and you have a fully switch hitting lineup, I think it's really cool that the commentator's now going to comment on the meta and on like the different strategies you can employ in these unique online modes. I do think that's kind of unique to MLB The Show. I like that they're trying something like that. Also, with the College World Series, when you're playing that in Road to the Show, they have added Jessica Mendoza as a third commentator in the booth during that particular tournament. And they've also talked about this last week with the Road to the Show stuff, and they talked about it more today. The College World Series this year in Road to the Show will be fully licensed, so you have all of the NCAA College World Series licensing. You'll also have the full bracket, so you'll have the double elimination bracket, and then if you make it to the championship, you'll have the best of 3 series there. You have Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, which is where the World Series is played. We also got a look at the main menu screen here, so our first look at how the UI is going to look on the main menu this year. They also showed off this, which I thought was a pretty cool little graphic for Road to the Show narrative presentation, where like it shows, you know, the guys that are above me before I go into a minor league game. So I thought that was a pretty cool little graphic. They added the spray chart from Statcast, so you can see all the different home runs and where they've gone in this game. That was something they really focused on, I felt, in both the trailer and the feature premiere. And with the colleges in Road to the Show during the College World Series, they said that they've added like unique chants and cheers and stuff for each of the schools, which you know, I've talked about this a lot. I'm an Arkansas Razorback fan. I went to school there. We are a baseball school, and I know I talk about Arkansas a lot in these videos, but dadgummit, somebody's got to. We do the hog call. You know, we do woo, pig, suey. If I hear the hog call on MLB The Show, man, I am going to be so excited. All right, I know I'm biased. That's a homer take. I get it. But man, if I hear the hog call on MLB The Show, I'm going to be very, very excited. And speaking of the other tournament, so the World Baseball Classic will be fully licensed within Diamond Dynasty. So that's the big thing, is whenever they mention the World Baseball Classic so far this year, they always say in Diamond Dynasty. And it looks like it's going to be a mini season option, because here you've got the mini season select screen. And then once you click into it, it says Diamond Dynasty Mini Season World Baseball Classic. Your optimal mini season squad has been automatically created. And then you get this little thing where it says team replace. Choose a team to replace. Replace a team with your Diamond Dynasty squad. You will only play against teams from this pool during round 1. So it looks like, you know, they've talked a lot about the World Baseball Classic integration in the game this year. It looks like this is how they are integrating it, in that you will be able to replace one of the federations in the tournament with your Diamond Dynasty squad and then go and play the tournament. It does not seem at the moment like there will be an option to, you know, choose to play as one of the federations themselves. We don't know that, but it's interesting because like here you have the United States, they have all of these ratings, and all of these teams have all of these ratings. So I'm curious if they have all of like the actual players from each of these teams licensed, or if they only have like some of the players licensed, because if they have all the players licensed, there's no reason for there not to be an option to play as any of these teams and play the full tournament as any of these teams. There's no reason not to have that, besides just wanting to force people to go into Diamond Dynasty. But if they only have like some of them, and you know, they don't want they don't want, you know, if you wanted to play with like say Australia and they only have like a few players from the Australian team licensed, then I guess that kind of makes a little bit more sense. But if you're gonna like have like each team represented here and have like each team with their ratings, I don't know. We don't know a lot about this yet. We are going to find out more about how this is going to work in the weeks to come. They did say that next week is going to be focused on franchise mode, and then the week after that will be focused on Diamond Dynasty. So that's when we will find out more about this World Baseball Classic. But I really hope that there is an option to choose to play as any of these teams and play the full tournament as one of the federations, because if not, I think that's a huge missed opportunity. They also said they're going to have the international stadiums for the World Baseball Classic, like the Tokyo Dome and such, and you'll have, you know, the logo and the branding all over the place, which is really cool to see. They did talk about they have the new, in franchise mode, they have a new Sunday night showcase game with unique branding. They have a Wednesday night game of the week with unique broadcast packages and such. So that's sort of it for the presentation stuff. They did talk about some new legends coming to storylines, because there was a section of the feature premiere today that focused on storyline season 4. So they said that there would be 4 new legends being added to storylines when the game releases, and there would be 6 more coming out in later content updates. So there will be 10 total players in storylines this year. Sort of the headliner for it this year is Roy Campanella, Hall of Famer, 3-time National League MVP. He also won a 1955 World Series with the Brooklyn Dodgers. He did play in the Negro Leagues before joining the Dodgers. Next up is Peanut Johnson, who was the only woman to ever pitch in the Negro Leagues. And I looked her up. She had a 33-8 record as a pitcher, and I think she played from like 1953 to 55. She didn't play for like incredibly long, but she was really good when she did. Next up is George Mule Suttles, who was one of the great power hitters in the Negro Leagues. Played in the Negro Leagues from 1924 to 1944, racked up 36.6 career WAR, hit 180 career home runs, and also won a Triple Crown in 1926. And lastly, at launch, you'll have John Henry Pop Lloyd, who is considered one of the great shortstops, one of the best fielders at the shortstop position in baseball history. Played from 1921 to 1929 in the Negro Leagues. That's going to do it for this video, y'all. Those are all of the presentation, commentary, and storylines additions coming to MLB The Show 26 at launch. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of what they've shown here? What do you think of the new like scouting report feature in franchise? Do you think that's something you're actually going to use? I am really excited about that. I see myself using that a lot once it comes out. And let me know what you think of all the commentary and presentation and all of that as well. Again, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, go check out our dedicated baseball channel, SGO Dugout, for more baseball content. And if you want to support us here at Sports Gamers Online and make sure we can keep bringing you guys this sort of content, hit that join button to become a YouTube channel member and get access to exclusive content. And remember, for all your sports gaming news and updates, stay tuned to Sports Gamers Online. I'm Brandon Satterwhite with SGO. Thank you for watching.